An elite sniper. A rogue assassin. A forbidden bond in a place no one leaves alive. Levi thought his mission was simple: watch the abyss and make sure nothing escapes. But when he connects with Dresa, the sniper from the Forbidden East Tower, they uncover a terrifying truth. The abyss isn't just a place, it's a prison. Mutated horrors, government conspiracies, and a past buried since World War II are about to be unleashed. With monsters closing in and the military hunting them down, Levi and Dresa must fight for survival. Will they escape, or will the abyss consume them like all who came before? The truth is coming, and it's deadly. Stick with us as this movie recap will blow your mind. The story begins in a dense forest where Dresa is hiding in the cave among the trees, waiting for a plane to arrive. She carefully prepares her weapon, and the moment a man steps off the jet, she attacks without hesitation. The man is shot dead right at the spot. Meanwhile, Levi suddenly wakes up from a nightmare and decides to go to the beach to clear his mind before sunrise. Out of nowhere, he receives a message ordering him to report to the Marine base. When he arrives, Bartholomew, a commanding officer, shows him a report about a sniper with 113 confirmed kills, and asks him whether this number is accurate. However, Levi knows the real number is even higher. Levi still takes occasional jobs for the Marines, but he is no longer officially employed because a psychologist deemed him unfit for certain missions. Bartholomew points out that Levi has no close relationships. Nobody would even notice if he went missing. He does not take any medication or drugs because they could interfere with his shooting skills. However, he admits that he needs at least 100 milliliters of liquor to be able to sleep. Before leaving, Bartholomew offers him a new mission. The story moves to a place. Lithuania. Dresa visits her father at a cemetery, placing flowers on her mother's grave. After a long time apart, they finally talk, but it is clear that her last mission is troubling her. To ease her guilt, she gives her father the empty bullet casing from her most recent kill. Her father then puts that bullet case in a pouch filled with other bullet cases that Dresa has used to kill. Her father tries to console her, telling her that the world has always been cruel, but Dresa confesses that she cannot sleep because of the guilt. Her father, Irakis, offers to let her stay with him for a while, but she refuses. She has another mission to complete. She is leaving for Moscow the next day for an undercover assignment that will last over a year. Before saying goodbye, Dresa asks about his health. He tells her there is nothing to be done, his cancer is aggressive and he sees death as a form of relief. He has already decided to take his own life on February 14th to reunite with his late wife. Arrival in the abyss. By September, Levi wakes up in a plain cabin, groggy from anesthesia. A soldier orders him to scan his fingerprints and place all his personal belongings into a box. In 3 minutes, the plane will enter a restricted, unknown area. His objective is to travel 38 kilometers north to reach the rendezvous point. He jumps out of the plane, opens his parachute and lands safely. The journey is brutal. He crosses rivers, caves and steep mountains until he reaches a towering cliff. As he tries to find a way around it, a Marine appears from the trees and introduces himself as J.D. Levi. J.D. has been stationed in the area for a year and has no idea where they actually are. Levi is the first person he has seen in all that time. Now that J.D. is being relieved from duty, he takes Levi to his new home, the West Observation Tower. This tower is a self-sustaining shelter with everything needed to survive. Levi notices another tower in the distance and asks about it. J.D. explains that it is the East Base, but it is completely cut off by mines and barriers. It is impossible to reach. Communication between the two towers is strictly forbidden. Levi's job is to watch over the abyss daily, reload turrets every 600 meters, inspect the barriers and maintain the camouflage that keeps the area hidden from spy satellites and Google Maps. There is an underground bunker stocked with weapons. Every 30 days he must submit a report. Communication is forbidden except for a panic button, which is only to be used in extreme emergencies. J.D. warns Levi about an old siren system at the top of the tower. If he ever hears them go off, he must run. Nobody knows what activates the Mad Dog protocol, only that it signals extreme danger. Levi asks about the purpose of his mission. J.D. makes it clear. Levi is not there to stop something from coming in, his job is to make sure whatever is inside the abyss never gets out. Strange encounters. J.D. is later extracted by helicopter and killed under Bartholomew's orders. Levi settles into his new routine, but strange things start happening. While exploring his tower's library, he finds notes left by past soldiers stationed there since 1947. One night, he notices a woman in the East Tower, Dresa. Despite the rules, they start communicating through written notes. Dresa, rebellious and playful, insists on celebrating her birthday. They challenge each other to shooting competitions, developing a deeper connection. One night, they see humanoid creatures trying to climb out of the abyss. Levi triggers the mines, causing explosions. Dresa provides backup, but in the chaos she gets injured. Levi calls for reinforcements, but the creatures keep coming. By dawn, both of them are exhausted, but they have successfully defended their stations. Dresa later admits that despite everything, this was the best birthday she has ever had. Growing closer as winter sets in, they decorate trees, play chess from a distance, and enjoy each other's company. On February 14th, Dresa mourns her father's death by playing loud music. Levi notices her distress and checks in on her. She confesses she wishes he could be with her. Determined, Levi builds a zip line through missile. He shoots at the nearby tree by East Tower. Dresa, watching all this, run back to the tree and blow out the fire caused by the missile. Levi then crosses the abyss and reach East Tower through zip line. He brings flowers and has dinner with her. They open up about their pasts and fears, deepening their bond. Eventually, they give in to their emotions and share an intimate moment. The next morning, as Levi returns to his tower, an explosion causes him to fall into the abyss. The descent into the abyss, Dresa jumps after him. Levi wakes up hanging from the tree. He cuts himself free and falls into something squishy. He then realizes that this thing is sticking to it, and all of a sudden roots starts coming out of the ground and traps Levi. Dresa arrives just at time and rescues Levi. They land in a strange, mutated forest filled with horrifying creatures. They realize that empty men may be the remains of fallen soldiers from the 1940s mission. They find a church and hides in it. Inside they find people covered in web combs, and Levi discovers that these people have used cyanide to kill themselves. He then wonders what could be more worse than death. Then they are attacked by big spider zombies. After a brutal fire, Dresa fires a hole in the wall and then they run off. They then find ruins containing shocking evidence. In 1946, a secret military experiment went wrong, unleashing a biochemical toxin that fused human DNA with plants and insects. The empty men are a result of that disaster. Worse still, the abyss is not abandoned. A corporation called Dark Lace is still experimenting with hybrid DNA, trying to create super soldiers. Levi and Dresa decide to escape and put an end to the abyss. Dresa and Levi comes out of the lab. Dresa finds her bag, but soon she has realized that she has been trapped. A rope stuck on her foot and a zombie man on horse drags her through the forest. She fights to cut her off, but hit by the tree and collapses. Later, Dresa gains conscious and finds herself in the basement-type bunker, and a zombie man studying her. She fights the man and Levi shows up and kills him. Dresa and Levi gets out of the bunker. While going out, they see a huge nuclear missile hanging above the ground. They later found a jeep and goes to the eastern wall where the rope is hanging low. They attach the rope to the jeep and start pushing the jeep upwards. Many of the zombies follow them, but they eventually fights them off. The final mission, they return to their towers, waiting to see if they show signs of infection. Levi reports to Bartholomew, who accuses him of entering the abyss and orders him to kill Dresa. He refuses. Bartholomew then orders her soldiers to take her there and she will kill Levi herself. Levi and Dresa are on their routine check when they hear a helicopter. Levi shouts at Dresa to run. Both Levi and Dresa run and they destroy the satellite system hiding the abyss, exposing it. Siren blares and nuclear missile is initiated. Military forces scramble to evacuate, but a massive explosion wipes them out. Levi, injured, falls into a river. Days pass with no sign of him. Dresa believes that Levi didn't make it. A new beginning months later in Ace, France, Dresa is working as a waitress waiting for Levi. One day he finally appears sitting at a table and ordering rabbit pie. She scolds him for being late, but he just smiles and tells her he got hurt at work. She asks if he has any useful skills for a job. He replies, "I have such good aim that from 3,900 meters away, I hit a target just to see you again." Subscribe to our channel. It will motivate us to bring more movie recaps for you.